the moment talking about animation. And you've got a lot
Hello.
of CDs and things there. I must admit, guys, what's all that about?
Yeah, well, when we met at the casino the other day, you were mentioning that if we did bring a CD along with the song, you might be able to play it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. There we go.
Okay, right. Which one have you got there then? We'd
Well,
like to give to.
There's quite a few actually. It's so hard to choose one song from all the songs
Yeah.
you've known over your life. So
I brought some CDs as well, but I don't think they'll be appropriate
I
somehow.
think one of the things there, you'll have to speak to somebody to be on this where they do. What do
Our
you call
top
it?
10.
Our top 10.
Okay.
Right, so that's
Yeah.
a good thought. We'll get you onto the person who does that and then deal with that one.
Cool.
So if you've got one that you just want to sort of pick
Sure,
out
okay,
through
okay.
halfway.
right.
But we mentioned the word
goes.
casino there, didn't we? Now, people
Yeah.
got to think that I'm a right old gambler. It was nothing, actually, to do with gambling, was
Not
it?
at all, no.
No. Would you like to tell people
Yeah.
where you were and why?
Well, the casino was like a business networking night where we met people and said hi to everyone and talked a bit about our business,
Yeah.
basically, and our business is animation, of
Right.
course.
And it's a great networking idea, isn't it?
Yeah,
that?
it's brilliant.
Called 8 networking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really
And,
good event. Yeah.
yeah.
With it being so, people think, well, why 8? But there's 8 people sitting around a table. You all hand your cards round. don't
That's
you?
what it is.
Not cards as in playing cards. This is cards as in
Yeah.
business cards.
Yeah,
And then tell for 3 minutes all about your business. And if you find that person interesting, you can sort of liaise later and do things. And then afterwards, you sort of zoom to somebody who wasn't on your table.
Yep.
And I think this is what happened where we tried to sort something out elsewhere.
Yeah, you were one of my 5-minute speed dates after the
Right,
after the
speed
Yeah.
date. I've never been on a
was
speed
very
date. Fancy
exciting
that.
stuff,
I've got
yeah.
ticked that off my bucket list now.
yeah. It was a good
I
laugh.
found it fascinating. I really did. I've been twice now. I went this last month as
Oh
well.
yeah, I wasn't able
last
to go
week.
to that last one. I was away on holiday.
Fascinating again. You know, it's a real platform for people to say what they're doing and get comments from other people. You know,
Yeah.
take your work elsewhere.
Yeah, and it's a really good platform for new businesses or people who are working in an established business who want to get a bit of practice about using their elevator pitch
Yeah.
or just getting out to know the local business community as well. It's really
Yes.
valuable for that too.
So what is your business? What's it called?
Well, we're Distant Future Animation Studio, and we do all sorts of things. See, our elevator pitch needs more work. but basically, a lot of what we do boils down to animated marketing materials for companies. So whether that might be...
That's the boring side. But we do lots of cool, exciting things as well.
well, I think it's quite exciting that we've done animation for the world's slimmest set-top box.
That is really
Which
cool.
is for a company called
cool.
EchoStar, which is a multinational company, but they've got a big office just outside of Silston. And you'd never know they were there, but just by the railway station, just across the road there's bushes, and behind there there's a business park, and in there at the back there's a great big place. Yeah, and they make, among other things, the world's slimmest set-top box. So yeah, we did animation for that, which
Which
I
was
found
cool.
exciting. Me and Steve have different different
Tastes.
loves when different tastes when it
Tastes.
comes to
Yeah.
animation,
Yeah.
which made it very interesting for setting up a business together. Yeah.
So how could you describe your different tastes? In what way are they different?
Chalk cheese, black white.
Yes, I'd say. I mean, I love stuff to do with characters and stuff, and character animate. Yeah, that kind of stuff, really.
Daffy Duck and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
like
all that too as well. But you've
classic
got a real passion
cartoons
for
and
kind of the
stuff,
character
yeah.
design side
Yeah.
of it and the storytelling and things as
yeah.
well. Eh?
I've always had a massive passion for stop motion animation, so stuff like Wallace and Gromit,
Yes.
Morph, all those classic British
Brilliant, isn't
shows.
Morph? Yeah.
Fantastic. It's like great for anyone, and I've always like been massively into that. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm on.
Do you two
all about
remember
anyway.
Danger Mouse?
Yes.
That's what was on when
Yeah.
I was growing up. Do you know they're redoing that? They're making it
yes,
again.
so I
yeah.
understand,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm waiting to see
Also,
if it's going to be really good or if I'm just going to feel my childhood crumble away. I don't know. Could go either way, but it's.
hey
it'll be
Bill,
good to
guess
see
what? Super Ted's been remade.
it. No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Super
all
Ted,
of
yeah.
them
It-
coming up.
Animation is such a wide range, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, going back to the original days when it used to be done on a cardboard with flicking
Yeah,
pages
yeah.
over, and now it's done on computers.
It is. Yeah.
I once saw a program about animation on television, and they were showing the old tiger jumping on the petrol.
Oh, yeah.
SOS Petrol.
Oh yeah.
And it was showing how they did the tiger jumping from iceberg to iceberg. And it was fascinating. Absolute. I can understand your enthusiasm for it. I fully can after seeing that.
Yeah, it's
must have
great
been
fun.
1,000 sheets to do that, wasn't there, or something?
Well, no, they did it on the computer,
Oh,
but
did they that time?
the old ways of doing it was with the sheets. and
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's like what we do nowadays is still we use old-fashioned techniques, but instead of drawing on paper, we draw on like a digital tablet, so we can so the frames are drawn straight onto the screen. But what I love is from like a single drawing to then bringing that drawing to life. It's just so satisfying, you know. It's almost like a drug, you know. It's like, yeah, look at that cool drawing I just made. He's alive.
Yeah, in a sense, it's like giving birth, isn't it?
Yes, I guess.
To a character.
Okay.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I get the same thing when you've got a character there and it's just set up, and then the first time you're doing the animation tests and you just make the eyes move. I could sit there and watch that all day.
So
It's
cool.
so much fun. Yeah.
As soon as you animate a blink, it's like, he's alive! Oh my God. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I would think it's a fascinating thing to do. Well, I was fascinated by that program, and that was the technical side, not simply the creation. It was the end product that they were making, but the creation must be. How do you when you get a contract from a firm like the Slim people, do they give you a free hand? Do you invent a character or whatever?
It depends on the client. I mean, all the clients we have dealt with, it really massively it is varied. I mean, some clients don't have a clue what they want, so we have to help them with that, or some have a pretty good idea of what they want. So it depends really.
Yeah. I mean, for example, I was speaking to a client today, well, potential client, who said, okay, we've got quite a technical product, and we want to sell it to a very non-technical audience, but he said, they don't know what they want, what it's going to do, what it's going to look like, how much it should cost, anything. So really, we're there at the very beginning of it, which is great. Yes. But sometimes you get like a design agency or a marketing agency that says, right, our client wants this, can you make that? Here's the storyboards, here's the characters, and away we go.
Really
so,
It's like growing a baby, that, isn't
it? Yeah, we always prefer the ones where we get as much creative input as possible, you know, because then we can do almost anything we want, really, within certain guidelines, you know. But it's always
a bit more freedom and stuff, doesn't it?
That particular part of it is usually a pretty fun part, like where you have to design characters or you have to design a scenario for the animation, you know. So
and of course, at the back of your mind, there's always, you've got to please the client, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the end product that's got to please the client.
Yeah, we've got to work out like what this animation is designed for, like what's its intended purpose and stuff. So that's always really helpful to know from them as well. So a part of the design is considering that as well.
And Steve, you said something really profound,
and
this
really?
is how I feel about
Steve?
sort of working
me?
here.
Are you sure?
Must been something in that tea,
it was unbelievable, because I've said this to people. Working here, when we go out of here, we've such a buzz from doing what we do. And I once said to somebody, I said, if anybody who took drugs came in and did this instead, what you said, and without mentioning the D word too much, you said it's like a drug, isn't it? When you finished it, you feel on this sort of high or something. I've never taken drugs, don't get me wrong there, but
I know what you mean.
We get this feeling that you're like,
I bet it's just
until you come
adrenaline,
back on the
isn't
next
it?
Thursday.
Well, you work on adrenaline and this because you don't. We don't script our interviews simply because if you script an interview, you're telling what they've got to say, because you're asking a specific question and they're answering it. We've always believed that our guests are important and they have the story to tell, not us. We can pick up the questions from what you're saying. So therefore, you never know what's going to come next.
We don't, and you don't.
It's more natural that way, and it makes it more entertaining.
And this is what the pleasure is.
And it's a fun thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's a great fun thing.
It's such a... I would recommend anybody to sort of try radio. I really would.
Well, this is our first time. So
Is it? Oh, you might get
absolutely.
involved.
This is my second time. Last time I was on radio was a local radio station in Guiseley. Back, I think I was about 15 or something. It was called Guiseley FM, and it reached out to like two small villages that only 3 or 4 people actually got. So that was kind of fun.
it would be under the old RSL system where you could get a license for up to 28 days and then you disappeared for 6 months.
Yeah, something like that. And there was a small little cabin I'd sit in, and you could hear the people doing the shows outside, and it was as a young teen, I was incredibly nervous, and I heard myself speak, and I was like, oh, I sound so nervous. It's like so obvious, and we re-scripted that as well, and it was just such a bad idea, you know, because like if it ever like.
Well, it's funny. We have had guests come in with their script.
Yeah.
And what we try to do is wean them off it because it sounds so natural when you just and we went to so and so and after that we did. It sounds so unnatural. If you can get through that barrier, so they relax.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of voiceover work as well for some of our projects.
Yes.
Nothing big that you've heard of, and actually they replaced my voice with somebody else.
No.
But personally, I thought it was really good. But
He's got a great voice for.
I started off with a script. I've done 2 because I did the Ninja Monkeys trainer.
Can you show us an example?
Thanks, Steve. Of which one?
The Ninja Monkey.
The Ninja Monkey. Well, it was Kufo, and it was all about. This town called Greenville used to be really jumping, but now the mega city came in, and everybody around here is not having a very good time. Sorry, I like that. Yeah. Anyway, put on the spot. Well, if you want to hear more of my terrible voice work, if you go on.
Some of our listeners might recognise that.
Yeah, Trident, who are based up in BD5, we were actually commissioned by them to produce this short animated film to talk about healthy eating and healthy living, but they didn't want it to be one that says, hey kids, eat apples. Not something that's telling people what to do, but like a story and a character-based thing that was around those issues. So we did a bit of audience development and bounced some ideas around and things. And ended up with Kufo the Ninja Monkey, and I got the pleasure of doing the voice work.
So where can we hear that?
Well, if you go onto Facebook and if you type, or if you probably Google Kufo the Ninja Monkey, I think that's what I did last time. I went to see how it's doing.
It's a fairly old animation that me and our first international intern, who's listening right now.
Oh yeah, hi Nina.
Hi Nina. Yeah,
can we say hi to Pete and Joao and everybody else who are listening as well?
Yeah. You know, people don't often do that, and I don't know why. I think it's wonderful.
Lauren would be upset if we didn't mention her, and Hugh as well, and Ruben.
Yeah, what about Ruben? Oh, don't mention Ruben.
Well, you've all those people, you could do this top 10, couldn't you? You could have people there. Yeah. We'll look into that when we go out next.
Also, hi Sophie.
And anybody who remembers me from school.
Well, yeah.
In fact, most of these people that we mentioned, they're actually listening not in the UK.
Brilliant.
We've got Nina who's listening in Austria. We've got, I'm assuming she's logged in. If she's not, I'll be
going to be.
Yeah. Sophie is listening in France, and Pete and Joao is listening in Czech Republic.
Right. Good.
So hello, Europe.
There you are, you see, we're working all over the common market, aren't we?
Gosh, we've spread now, haven't we? Yeah, BCB's in Czechoslovakia and everywhere.
Well, this is the great thing about it. Of course, it's on the internet, and so anyone can get it. We have
really useful,
people from America getting it as well.
So we could dedicate these 2 records to your friends.
Let's do it, yeah.
Well, if it's okay, sorry to spoil your dedication, but this one's kind of dedicated to my Mrs. France Lee. You'll kind of she's from Scotland, so you'll see the kind of thing. One. But this is a band called the Dropkick Murphys, who I'd never heard of before I met her. And she basically said, Bill, we're going to the cockpit, we're going to see Dropkick Murphys. I had no idea what to expect, but it was just such good fun. She was stage diving.
What's her name again?
France Lee.
France Lee,
yep.
Okay.
Right.
It's just
sending our love to you.
Away we go. So, Bill, you'll get some brownie points now when you get home.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Oh, and Sophie will. We're hoping she's listening there in France.
I feel kind of bad now because I don't have anything to well, I mean, I just brought 3 CDs that I thought, oh yeah, this is kind of tame, but you know.
It's not music, it's just noise.
It's not. It's good noise.
Well, next time you come in, we'll have yours on. Honestly,
Okay.
we will, Steve. Really, honestly, we will.
Well, thank you.
So, what have we got to talk about now? You've all sorts of things coming up, haven't you?
All
Have you
sorts.
anything that you're dealing with right at this minute, apart from that one that you told us where they don't know what they want, they don't know what it's going to look like?
Yeah,
they've
we
no
don't know
idea
what that's
what
going
you
to be.
want to do.
Yeah.
Where do you start with that anyway?
Well, we
Draw a
basically
box.
just ask them what they've got and what they want to do with it.
Sorry.
What their what the plan is, and then we just take it from there. Really.
Yes, yeah. So do you both do that together?
Yeah, it depends. I tend to start off talking to a client, bring the work in, and then either hand it to Steve or Hugh or
Yeah.
Ruben or Lauren, whoever's got the best skills for that
Yes.
job.
Depends who calls as well, because there's sometimes I'll answer the phone and then I'll deal with the client like direct for like the entire duration. But usually Bill likes to speak to them first.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, most of you don't like being on the phone, which
No, it's just that first conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a bit like daunting when you don't know the person. But
Have
yeah.
you ever done something for somebody and they've said we don't like it?
I'd
Or
say
we'd
yeah.
like it changing or
Oh,
something?
yeah,
yeah, we get all the
amendments
time.
and changes are
Yeah.
all part of it. But I don't
Yeah.
think we've ever done anything where people have said that they hated it and it was terrible and.
No, because everything we do is really awesome. So
Yeah.
so we've never really
Distant Future
Never
Animation
really
Studio knows what it's doing.
disappointed
Really, doesn't it?
anyone because like
Yeah.
we just make awesome stuff all the time. Please get in touch.
Yeah.
distantfuture.co.uk.
Yeah,
There you go,
sometimes though,
distantfuture.co.uk.
I found in the past, and it must be even more appropriate, they come in and they know what they want, and they tell you, and then when it comes out, they don't like it, because it's not what they have in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few cases where they'll tell like a basic little piece of information. We'll work on the thing and say, oh no, that's not what I described. So okay, back to the drawing board. You know, because we get a lot of clients who do change their minds like during the process. You know, it's like okay, but originally you said this, but. It gets a bit frustrating,
Yeah.
but I mean,
It's all part of it, really,
Yeah,
isn't
it's all part of it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the entire thing's a fun, creative process, which
Yeah.
we all love. But
Yeah.
it's just
It gets interesting when
When
you've
those
got a
smaller
client
things, yeah.
and that client has got another client,
Yeah.
and that second client is working for somebody else. I think the longest we've had was 3 clients in the middle and then the end client we were actually doing the work for.
Oh,
Yes.
So you've got a lot of people who are all kind of
Passing it
creative
over and
people
everything.
who have got their own input. They've got their own clients to satisfy. And then they put to their clients and they want to make changes. But yeah, like we said, it's all part of it. And you
And
cater
I
for that.
suppose that situation where you've got a lot of intermediaries, it's a little like the Chinese whispers, isn't it?
Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be.
Because
it can
everybody alters it a little bit.
Yeah.
their own
that's the thing.
interpretations
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And how
best
do
when we work
people-
direct with
sorry,
people.
How do people, for coming to pay and so on, do they pay something up front? Or?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on the size of the project, but we usually get project start payment and
Yeah.
then the rest on completion.
Yes, because we've
Yeah.
got to think if you sort of done something and then at the end of it say we don't like any of it, what we've got to do now?
Well,
you know?
we make sure we show them as it's
Yeah.
as it's coming.
Yes.
Like so, if the earlier you spot the changes that need to be done, the better.
Yes.
'Cause, like if you build a house and you're thinking, okay, this is the house that I want, and then you lay
building
the
a house analogy.
lay the foundations down, and then you say, so are you still liking it? Then if they say, no, we'd like to make some changes, it's much easier at that point
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it
Then
than
you
it
get
is
to the
once it's
second
all
floor.
finished and tiled and the electrics are in and everything. So
Absolutely, yes, yeah. What's the most exciting thing you think you've done? Was it that slim box thing?
well, no, I mean name dropping. We've worked for the BBC.
Oh,
we've
yeah,
worked for
that was-
West Ham United.
that was quite
They were
exciting.
good
West Ham,
projects.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we like working
Yeah.
for the big names. We've just recently done a second piece of work for the trainline.com. They're coming back to us with more stuff as well, so that's good.
There is a short film that we're currently working on for a client based in all the way in Nigeria, which he has paid the start payment.
Yeah.
So he's not one of those hoax emails, you know.
Yeah. And not you paying them.
yeah, basically. But it's a cool little short film, which will be named Road to Nigeria. But I've had a few of our previous interns help with the character design, and we've already begun the animation process, and it's looking pretty cool so far. But It takes time. You know, it's pretty stressful, but I would say that's a pretty cool project because it is exactly what we want to do. You know, character animation. You know,
story led.
We're telling a story. You know, like there's a really cool narrative about this main character who comes from the USA and comes back to his home country, and you know, it's got like a nice little kind of adventure kind of story to it. So it's pretty interesting. Can't wait to finish it.
With something like that, obviously it takes time to tell the story.
Yeah.
How long do you go on with it? I mean, obviously not Walt Disney. But
Yeah. Well, it depends on the amount of men or women we have in the studio to help us out. I mean, this particular film, there's two of us that are working at it at the same time. Had our previous intern working on the character design while she was doing her work at school as well. Her animation school. So we've all been doing a fair amount of multitasking. so we're juggling between other jobs as well. So
do you find that's easy to work with somebody on a thing which is your baby in a sense?
Well, this particular film, I wouldn't say it was our baby. It was more the client's kind of idea, where we're just making the animation to what he wants, but we're putting our spin on things, like in a design, the way we see it should work visually. So I forgot what the question was.
Well, it was.
Do you like somebody helping you to do it?
You know,
yeah, always,
you don't get conflicts of it. I think he should have a hat on, and I think he shouldn't have a hat on.
We always get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we try and stick to like per project, we'll have one person to direct it, or to lead it.
Somebody in charge.
It's something we've learnt with experience, really. I think early on, particularly with the chalk and cheese approach that me and Steve have got, there were a few more disagreements. I'd think it would be best one way, and Steve would say nope, and then he'd suggest something, and I'd say nope. But we've as I say, we've been around for nearly 4 years now.
Hello,
we're
studio.
much better at what we do. And
one of the things
I'm a little bit late again. I never get used to this. I don't know. I'll come back at 59, and then if you come in and the jingle as you did last time.
Special offers or anything like that, or freebies that you could
I'm
offer?
trying to whisper
Well,
because
I mean,
we're
we always-
interviewing somebody at the same time.
I thought, if I don't ask,
leave it well 59 and I'll
discount
talk to
our
you then.
rates for charities and social enterprises and community interested things.
Right.
So
That's worth knowing, because there's a lot of people out there who will be dealing with charities and, as you say, community ideas. Yeah. So we've got our website there, haven't we? www.distantfuture.co.uk.
That's it.
Is there an email that goes with that?
Yes, you can send an email to info@distantfuture.co.uk.
Right.
And all three of us who run the studio, that's me, Bill and Hugh. Hi Hugh.
Hello, Hugh.
He's also a part-time masseuse as well.
So if you get stressed, you've got one on hand.
Exactly, yeah. Well, he's not really. I might just say that just to wind him up. Anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so if you send an email to that, we will get back to you.
Yeah, we're just up the road in Clayton, so not very far away.
Not too far.
You know Victoria Park?
Yes.
If you go up the back of there's a street called Reverside Road,
Right.
and we're just down there.
I didn't know that. I've passed that a few times.
Pretty close.
Thank you very much indeed, Bill and
Thank you.
Steve.
No
It's
worries.
been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
And it's added a new light to our studio, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Animation.
It's been fantastic fun.
Thank
very much.
you. Now we're going to go out.